Hello, and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Shanna Fold, here with ILTV's Morning Brief. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Israel for the biggest Holocaust commemoration ceremony ever to be hosted in the Holy Land. But Israeli diplomats are not just hoping to make his visit a comfortable one. They're hoping to come out with an announcement about the jailed Israeli-American backpacker Naama Issachar. Issachar has been in Russian jail since April when she was arrested at the Moscow airport for having a handful of marijuana in her checked luggage. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will raise the issue with Putin in person today, along with Issachar's mother, who will join in the meeting. Katz says there's reason to be optimistic that Issachar will be home in Israel soon. Hebrew reports suggest there may be a trade coming soon, with Issachar's release in exchange for a piece of Russian Orthodox Church property near the Old City's Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is dealing with major traffic disruptions. Route 1, which connects Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, has been completely closed for hours, as U.S. Vice President Pence is arriving 30 minutes after Putin. Israeli officials asked residents to refrain from using their cars while the leaders make their way from Ben Gurion Airport to Jerusalem, unless it's absolutely necessary. Operation Future is what they're calling it. Over 6,300 police officers have been deployed across Jerusalem as dozens of world leaders arrive for the 75th commemoration of the liberation of Auschwitz and the 5th World Holocaust Forum. French President Emmanuel Macron, on the other hand, is taking a stern attitude with his Israeli police detail.
We know perfectly, everybody knows the rules. I don't like what you did in front of me. Go outside. I'm sorry, but we know the rules. Nobody has to provoke, nobody, okay? We keep calm. We had a wonderful work. You did a great job in the city, I do appreciate, guys. Please respect the rules as they are for centuries. They will not change with me, I can tell you, okay?
The tiff comes as Israeli security members began to follow Macron into the Church of St. Anne. Traditionally, as Macron pointed out, France sees Israeli police in the church as a provocation. That said, though, Macron has since made up with the Israeli team, telling reporters that they all shook hands and ended things pleasantly. Finally, apart from the church, Macron has now also visited the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, along with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. The U.S. may be trying to lower the stakes by refusing to sign on for any unilateral or one-sided decisions ahead of the rollout of its Israeli-Palestinian peace plan. A Wednesday Hebrew TV report suggests the White House may not be against Israel's goal to take sovereignty over the Jordan Valley, but will not strike a final decision until after the so-called deal of the century is officially announced. A majority of the international community say a move to declare sovereignty in the Jordan Valley would ultimately be an impediment to the two-state solution. The deal is supposed to be coming out very shortly. Jared Kushner, President Trump's senior advisor, was supposed to come to Israel for the 5th World Holocaust Forum, which commences today, but he's canceled it at the last minute, blaming the weather in Switzerland, where he's currently accompanying Trump for the World Economic Forum. Instead of flying over to Israel for the event, he's heading back to Washington, D.C., where the Senate is already working on Trump's impeachment trial. As world leaders get together in Jerusalem to commemorate those lost in the Holocaust, Israeli military officials are now sharing a new meaning to the phrase, never again. The IDF says that 2019 had the lowest ever number of fallen soldiers since the founding of the state in 1948. Now, while every death is a tragedy, the IDF's Manpower Directorate is hailing the low numbers, saying that just 27 soldiers had been killed or died over the past year, a dramatic decrease compared to years prior. Also, just 35 troops were critically wounded, another decrease. As for the causes of death, 2 soldiers are reported to have fallen in battle, 19-year-old Staff Sergeant Gal Kaidan, who was killed in a terror attack in Ariel, and First Sergeant Zachary Baumel, who was presumed missing since the First Lebanon War until now. 18-year-old Devir Sorek, a soldier and seminary student, was also declared as killed in action when he was found with multiple stab wounds last August. Finally, at least 2 soldiers died during training, 5 in various car accidents, and at least 2 due to illness or medical conditions. That's all for now, but for more news from Israel, remember to like ILTV on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Shanna Fold, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.